What's up, guys? So today I want to tell you a story. This is a story of how one county is going to entirely disappear in the course of history. Well, not entirely disappear, of course. It's very hard to disappear a whole county, but sort of. I'm right here in Nyeri. So despite the fact that this is where I was born and it's actually my home up to today, but it is a very important setting for today's story, because this is where it all happens. You guys might have heard about Mugo Kĩbiru. You might have heard of him, you might not have heard of him, but to be fair to that man, he's actually one of the greatest figures in Kikuyu history. In fact, not just Kikuyu history, but Kenyan history, because he is credited with prophesying the coming of the white man. And of course, you guys know that the coming of the Europeans into this country was one of the most life-changing events in the history of modern-day Kenya. So, well, that prophecy may be very well known, but there's another quite obscure prophecy that he actually made, and that prophecy was about the future of Kikuyu country. Now, the Kikuyu country is quite a huge country, and in my opinion, I think that eventually it's gonna become its own country. It's actually its own borders, because if you look at the way things are and the borders of this country we call Kenya, they're actually quite abstract, and I did another video about the fragile borders of our country. So, okay, I digress there, but the point is, Kikuyu country is a vast country bordering the Somalis, the Kushites, to the north, and of course extending right towards Nairobi, very close to Nairobi. And just a small animation there showing you the vastness of that country that is actually bordered now to the north. Is actually bordered by this great mountain called Mt Kenya. And where I am right now is actually not Mt Kenya forest. It's a neighboring forest known as the Aberdares forest. And the prophecy, according to Mugo Kĩbiru, is that, and you guys have to remember that Kikuyus were actually quite, these are people who lived in a sort of a siege mentality, and this has been well documented that, people in the past normally just lived, expecting a sort of a siege. So the whole Kikuyu country and the way it's situated is actually just to show you the sort of siege mentality that this, especially older folks of the past years had. So, the prophecy, as I was saying, is that in order for the Kikuyu country, according to Mugo Kĩbiru, in order for Kikuyu country to regain its position as these mighty people and self-sustaining people, that they'll actually have to make sure that the forest, right from Aberdares up to Mt Kenya. So actually right now I'm quite well situated to show you the exact thing I'm talking about. So this is the Aberdares forest to this side, and right across there you can see the mountain, although it's covered in a lot of clouds at the moment, but that's a great the great mountain, the Mt Kenya. Now, the whole idea is that this forest should actually be one forest, and Mugo, in his wisdom, actually prophesied that in order for the Kikuyu people to become the self-sustaining people that they used to be, that this forest will have to be one. Of course, as you can tell at the moment, it's not one forest. People have already, of course, I live, my family lives here, and people have all over. You can see these are people's property, so it's no longer one connected forest. But in the past, as you can see in that animation, normally it used to be actually one forest, and you can see that in order for that one forest to become, of course, this forest is now the border, it's a border towards the north, so that now the Kushites towards that side and the Maasais will not be able to come. Sort of a natural barrier. Now, the thing is, if in fact that prophecy by the great seer Mugo ever comes to pass, and if we the Kikuyus ever need to regain our past glory, we need to become one forest. And you know what that means? The whole of basically the whole of Nyeri County will disappear, and it's actually should be, if you look at the whole Mount Kenya and the Aberdares forest, is the entirety of Nyeri County. So that's how one county is going to entirely disappear. Well, if Mugo Kifiru's prophecy ever come to fruition. And of course, this guy, remember this guy prophesied before he had ever seen the white people in this land. He prophesied about the guns they would have, the railways and everything. Remember, he had never heard of these things. So I'm quite sure that in the course of time that this prophecy might come to pass, I mean, because as you can see, this is a protected forest, and although people have encroached, you can see right there, people have encroached here, and this is the Dedan Kimathi University. They have their sort of, that is actually the route where this forest, this land barrier is supposed to be. And you know what that means is then the Kikuyu country will be safe again from invasions and everything. So that's how one county will entirely disappear, according to Mugo Kĩbiru. I'll see you soon, guys, and thank you so much for tuning in.